everybody, and thanks for tuning in. I haven't been on the YouTube channel in a while, and going to be starting to put these videos on YouTube more, and then kind of just sharing them on Facebook and social media. I'll be doing these on Wednesday, or I'll have them done before Wednesday. So this is just kind of a promo, going to be a few minutes long, and I'll be doing more of these each week so that I can start building back up my work here on social media and stuff like that. So I want us to kind of start off this presentation or this video with a quote that I saw earlier, and I thought it kind of just went along with what I want to talk about today. And it's going to be just kind of come together at the end. So just bear with me for a little bit. The quote goes this, and I honestly didn't write down who quoted it, but I do have it in parentheses. So I know I didn't say it, but I just wanted to bring it in here because I think it makes a lot of sense. And the quote is, "The great work is not so much about changing the world as it is about changing oneself in the process. One's greatest gift to humanity is being free of oneself." So what does that mean? It's that trap that we put ourselves in. We trap ourselves in all these emotions and ideas and dogmas that we think we have to be or should be in order to fit into this box of what the world thinks, of this paradigm that the world has helped us create in our mind. We built this story on our mind of what we have to be. And so it's interesting because then I had pulled up the Metaphysical Dictionary. I have this, The Revealing Word, the Dictionary of Metaphysical Terms by Charles Fillmore, and he's the founder of the Unity Movement. And I got this for $2, and so, they always get these really cool finds with books. But I opened it up to the letter B, and I looked right at Baal worship, so B-A-A-L worship, so it's the Egyptian god. And basically Baal worship is putting nature before God in earth, air, and water, giving the substance of the mind and body to the things of the sense. It is a form of adultery. So basically it's saying thou shalt not have no other gods before me in Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. Now, let's just hold on to that one just for a second. So one of the things I love doing is I love allowing my inner self to guide me. And so then it goes on, and it says, there's another quote that says, from the Bible, it says, "Love God with all of your mind and heart." Thought that was super interesting. And then seek first God's kingdom. That's Luke 17, verse 21. And then the kingdom of heaven is within you. Interesting. So here we go. Let's go back to the quote here. Love God with all of your mind and heart. Seek God's kingdom, or seek first God's kingdom. And then the kingdom of heaven is within you. And then it goes on to say, in some other texts, that we are God, or we are that divine. And so some people are going to argue with you, and they're going to say, oh, that's the little g for God, and you have that mistaken. But it says there, right, in the plain writing. And then the other part I want to share with you is that what they're referring to is what the Masons and the Mayans and the Egyptians referred to as transmuting yourself from lead into gold. It's alchemy. So you're going from this state of mind into that golden state of mind, that Christ mind. And so the part that they don't want to see is that little g, which the Hebrew alphabet didn't have, but that's neither here nor there. But let's just go into their mindset just for a little bit. That little g is manifestation into the capital G, so to speak. Let's just play their game a little bit. And so when we think about that, we're transmuting ourselves. This is the law of transmutation. It's a natural law. We're transmuting ourselves from this lead state or this bronze state into the golden state of mind. And so what that means is that we're, just like what it said, seek first the kingdom of heaven, and the kingdom of heaven was within you. So what you're seeking is within you. Love God with all of your mind and heart. So you love what is within you. So what you're doing is you're turning all that love and affection and everything that you want for yourself, you're turning it inward. And so let's go back to this, and it says Baal worship, putting nature before God in earth, air, and water, giving substance of the mind and body to things of sense. And this is a form of adultery, meaning you're putting everything else before yourself. And interesting enough, you give honor to all those things by giving honor to that which is within you. And so when you honor yourself, then it also says, Jesus says, be the light of the world. So as you love yourself, light emanates, and that light gives substance to the earth and everything else. So that light raises the frequency of the earth, raises the frequency of the planet, and brings love within to the planet so that we can start healing all of this energy of angst and sorrow and fear and pain. So let's go back to my original quote, and that's the one where we were talking about working on yourself. The great work is not so much about changing the world as it is about changing oneself in the process. One's greatest gift to humanity is being free of oneself. So as you free yourself, you emanate this light, as we were saying before, and you become that light of the world, so to speak. And so how do you do that? You have to sometimes sit in darkness, that darkness of pain, and you have to shine light in it, which means that you bring yourself and you spend your time in your pain and your sorrow and your angst and your anger so that you can find peace, harmony, and love of oneself. So there's a lot, and when we're thinking about a lot of spirituality is about alchemy. It's about alchemizing the body, mind, and soul. It's about bringing yourself into that golden state of mind, as we're taught in so many things. And the only way to do that is through constant gradual practice. And so when we think this is going to happen overnight, and it doesn't. The healing or harmonizing yourself or transmuting yourself happens through a gradual process, and it's called life. And so all these things out there, as we emanate more light, remember, is truth, and truth comes into a frequency that shakes apart the darkness. And so you have to remember, if we're all one, if we're all connected, then even the things that are evil in this world, light brings life to. Meaning evil, the opposite of that is live. And so as we bring more truth to the world, as we bring more light to the world, as we bring more inner love to the world, we will bring greatness to the world, and we will heal this world. And that's what we're really looking to do here. We're looking to make an imprint on the world. Well, we make the imprint by making the imprint with ourselves. And that's the difficulty. That's where we really get hung up, and we really kind of keep ourselves from having this happy life that we're looking for, because we're so busy trying to please everybody else. We're so busy trying to fix everybody else. We're so worried about what everybody else is doing, and we don't know what their path is. So their path could have a whole bunch of lessons that if we prevent them from doing it, we prevent them from transmuting themselves, so to speak, so that they can be that light of the world. And so it's okay to state your opinion. It's okay to get the word out there if you feel very pushed to say the truth that's within you. However, what ends up happening is then we get upset. We get upset that people aren't listening to us. We get upset that people aren't understanding us. We get upset because why bother and all that other kind of stuff. I've gone through all those things as well. And that was part of the process. That's part of the journey. We're all journeymen down here, so to speak, learning how to alchemize ourselves into that golden state of mind, that Christ mind, so to speak. And in that sense, the Christians have it right. We are working to be more Christ-like. And that's coming from that little g into capital G. So, but it doesn't change the fact that you are divine. It doesn't change the fact that you are a son and daughter of the most great high God. And that God is within you. That divine, or that divine intellect, that divine intelligence is within you. And so one of the things you could start saying is that the divine intelligence works through me perfectly on a daily basis. The divine intelligence works through me and touches others perfectly on a moment-to-moment basis, on an everyday basis, in a perfect manner, in a highest and best manner. You can use all these different types of words. And what you're doing is you're starting to declare who you are and the expectations you want to set for yourself. And all the people, then you can say, all the people that I touch with the divine intelligence working through me causes them to awaken in their highest and best way, and the highest and most perfect way. Divine intelligence is always working. So what are you doing? You're now giving faith into something that is greater than yourself, and that is within you, not above you, not sitting on a throne in the sky. It's not separate from you. It's in all things. And that means that as we transmute, because everything is done by design, so to speak. And so if it's all done by design, if we're here because now is the perfect time for us to start emanating light so we can awaken people and transmute ourselves into a different state, and transmute consciousness into that different state, then we have to act on that. And besides the fact, we don't have a choice. It's going to continue to push us towards that direction. And that's what natural law is all about, because we cannot go against natural law. That is the one thing. We can be resistant to it, but eventually it's going to push us in that direction. Or it'll push you as the cell out of the way, and then it'll push another cell in to do the work that you weren't wanting to do. And so that's the kind of things. So that's where it comes down to resistance, pushing against the wall, or flow, allowing it in. So resistance or flow, allowing it in. And that's the kind of thing you have to kind of start thinking of and when you start working on yourself. And if you're in resistance, you're going to have all these things that are going to be happening to you in resistance. It's not about right or wrong or guilt. It's about looking at what kind of life do you want? Do you want a life of resistance, or do you want a life of flow? And that's the way you have to choice. And I'm not talking about raging against the machine type of resistance. I'm talking about resistance to the energy that's pushing you into the direction you need to go into. So if that direction tells you to be a revolutionary and stand up against oppression, then do it. And if it says for you to be a peaceful monk sitting in a monastery somewhere, then do it. And it's whatever the soul or the urge is pushing you to do, and you have to do that inner work within yourself so you can make that leap of faith, so to speak. Much love to you guys. I just want to make a couple of announcements about a few things. One is if you're local or if you're close by, I am speaking at the Logic or Light of God Interfaith Church. It's the old Harmony Metaphysical Church in Tampa. It is at 2517 West Henry Avenue in Tampa, Florida. Also, you can still buy tickets for Spirit Heart Cruise. That is spiritheartcruise.com. And I'm also doing a webinar with my friend Jessica Sanchez, and that is at enlightenedcircles.com. And then I'm speaking at the Waves of Light in January, so that's thewavesoflight.org. Much love to you guys. Peace, and have a great week. I'll be back on or have another video back up next Wednesday. Thank you so much.